News 46 is brought to you by Dr. George Leeks, Pahrumps optometrist since 1990, offering full spectrum eye care for children and adults. Call today, 727-8300. News is also brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson. News 46 is also brought to you by Humana, serving the community. Please stop in at 1397 South Loop Road on the corner of Loop and Highway 160.
Tonight on News 46, the local training facility gets an upgrade, and a ribbon cutting is held at a new store. News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Deanna O'Donnell. News 46, local coverage you can count on.
Law enforcement now can train locally. It's November 13th. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. The Nye County Sheriff's Office unveiled their new firing range this morning at the training facility on Mesquite Avenue.
The Sheriff's Office has had a need for a shooting range for a number of years. We have historically been forced to borrow and share and ask for help from outside agencies to allow us to use their facilities whenever we had requirement for firearms training. For those of you that don't know, Nevada law says that twice a year any sworn officer is required to demonstrate proficiency with their firearm, and having to use facilities as far away as the Mercury test site has put a hardship on the Sheriff's Office in manpower and finances. Now, thanks to the cooperation of several people, we finally have a range here locally that we can call our own and use whenever we need to.
This is kind of another improvement to this training facility that you have here on Mesquite, right?
Yes, it is.
What else do you have here on property?
Well, we have a shoot house. We have a training facility for the canines. This facility is rather unique. Mm-hmm. It's set up for fire, all fire training, and it's also set up for law enforcement training.
I think it's been a great challenge for us to make this site great. It also brings us some contracts. We have people that will be coming here and we'll be collecting some fees for those activities that will happen here. So from a county standpoint, it's a plus for us, and for anybody else that comes here and uses these facilities.
We have contact with all the major disciplines outside of law enforcement, which would be the fire departments, the hazmat teams. We work with search and rescue quite a bit, and then EMS personnel. So this site was originally developed to be multi-use and multidiscipline, which it's successfully done. We have a unique facility in the fact that we're able to do some confined space rescues, which is applicable not only for fire departments and hazmat, but we've also used it with Barrick Gold Mine Company. They have trained some of their personnel here through that.
What a great opportunity to be here, Jay, because number one, it doesn't benefit fire and EMS. It also expands and broadens all the potential that the Sheriff's Office can train on a regular basis. You know, look at the recent events that are occurring throughout our country. This gives them better opportunity to be best prepared and allows us to interact with them better. So it's just a great opportunity.
And luckily, no one was seriously injured as a result of a two-vehicle crash involving a horse trailer and a truck that occurred on Highway 372 and Banovich.
Dispatch report of a two-vehicle accident with one vehicle overturned. While we were responding, we were notified that one of the vehicles was pulling a horse trailer, so we ascertained the status of animal control, who was actually off duty at the time. On arrival, we found that the vehicle accident as described. There was one patient that was assessed at the scene, however, declined medical transport. There were no horses injured. The horse trailer is uncoupled because the pulling truck had sustained significant damage and no longer could operate, and the horses were pulled off by another vehicle.
Was it a head-on? How did they collide?
You know, we believe it was a T-bone type accident, and we're unsure exactly how it happened. It was under investigation still.
Pretty significant damage to the car that rolled.
There was actually significant damage to both vehicles. Both were trucks, and our heavy rescue came in and illuminated the scene, but did not need to go into service with extrication.
And Highway 372 was completely closed temporarily on Saturday night while that collision was investigated. One driver was arrested at the scene. Fire Chief Scott Lewis gives an update on last week's accident that sent one driver to a Las Vegas trauma center.
We received a report of one vehicle off the roadway. It was an unknown extent of what the injury of the accident was. When the sheriff's office arrived, they found that the vehicle had left the hard surface at 372 in Red Butte, traveled through 2 traffic barriers, drove onto the desert floor, up and over an embankment, remained upright, but it had significant damage to the vehicle, and they found the driver apparently had been unrestrained and has sustained pretty significant injuries.
Do you know why at this point that the driver went off the road so far?
We're investigating a probable medical issue that preceded the actual accident. It's very fortunate, though, that when the vehicle careened across 372, that it didn't collide with any other vehicles.
They said that there was a car that was in that desert area that it almost hit, though.
Yeah, so there was another vehicle in that immediate area that it almost collided with, but again, it didn't. It remained upright, so it was not a rollover.
He was transported to a Desert View and then subsequently airlifted.
We attempted to airlift the patient from the scene. However, both airships were committed on other assignments. We transported to Desert View Hospital, and at some point in time, they were transported to trauma via air flight.
All right. And then nobody else in the car?
No one else was in the vehicle.
And right after this break, we'll tell you what events occurred over the weekend in honor of Veterans Day.